I'd personally like to thank each and every one of you for being here today and this weekend. We're really excited to be back here at the Hilton, the traditional home of the ACHE conference. And I see many familiar faces that I've seen here over the past 20 plus years, and some new faces. So we're really looking forward to getting to visit and spend time with old friends. I mean, long-standing friends, and new friends and new members. I wanted to make just a couple of quick comments for you about some housekeeping and support. If I'm wearing a little name tag, and this name tag means that it says director, which means I guess I'm supposed to help direct. So if you have questions, find me or find anyone else that you see wearing one of these name tags, and if we can't help you, then we will help you to find the person who can. I also want to let you know that at the end of the hallway is the exhibitors room, and in the exhibitors room, many of you maybe already know, but we have some hospitality there of coffee and tea that you're welcome to. And while you're there, make sure to stop by the tables of our exhibitors where there are a lot of great products and elements to help you in your practice to take some of that home with you. So with that, I want to welcome a near recent friend that I've known for a couple of years now, but he was part of our virtual conference last year. This is the first time for him to be here live in Glendale. We're having a great week together. He's going to be giving you a talk today on the collapse technique, some of his innovative approach to the work, and the PTSD killer, all the way from Denmark, Martin Castor Peterson.
Thank you. How is everyone? Good?
Yes.
Enjoying yourselves so far?
Yes.
Awesome. So I was told you got 50 minutes to say something amazing. So I thought, why not take a technique that will take hours to demonstrate and kind of shrink it down to 50 minutes. Wouldn't that be awesome? Ah, cool. So the reason behind this technique is actually, I've studied hypnosis for almost 23 years now. And I turned 43 in a very short while. I've been practicing since I was 20. Got the interest since I was 7 years old. I borrowed a book on the library all about hypnosis. And I read it through and I didn't get it. I was looking for the chapter explaining where to tap someone on the shoulder to get them into hypnosis. And that place do not exist. We know that. But it has been kind of like an inspiration for me for many, many, many years. And when I first started out studying hypnosis, it was all the classical stuff. You know, read a script, do this, do that. All the old school and even then new school, even back in the early or late 90s, it was still new school back then. That's what we call old school today. So I've been through a lot of different schools because I'm very curious. I'm the kind of guy that when I start something, I go all in on everything that I do. And hypnosis is no exception. I want to know everything, and that's impossible, I know that. But I want to make sure, this is the way I work. I want to make sure if I'm doing something, I want to be able to back it up with evidence and cases and proof, because that's the only way that gets the world going. Because there's so many bright-minded people in this business and every business who has a brilliant idea, but if it's not backed up by science, they're the only one who is able to do it, right? So sometimes you can do a lot of crazy stuff because of your name or your authority, because you're the only one doing it. I want to be able to share my ideas and my techniques with people so everybody can do it. I'm not the kind of guy who wants to, train little mini-me's so they go and do the same thing as Martin, and they say the same thing and do the same thing and act the same way. No, I don't want to do that. When I teach people something, I want them to understand the basics and the structure of the technique. But what's even cooler about that is I want to see their personality in how they actually facilitate it. Because we always got some skills that's kind of like special and personal and unique for all individuals inside this room. So it doesn't only require the technique or the knowledge, it requires personality, and you know what? You all got it, right? It's just a matter of actually showing it or finding it. And then I had a lot of people saying, well, we got the only solution for doing, PTSD or something, traumas. It's, I got a good friend called Jamie Feldman, if anybody knows that guy. Parts therapy, everything is parts therapy. We just do parts therapy on everything. I'm like, okay. And we might have that persuasion that we think and know this is the only way to deal with that kind of problem. I'm not that kind of person. Anything goes if it works. There's no special key to everyone, but there's a unique key for every individual. So the bigger the toolbox, I know this is a cliche, but the bigger the toolbox, the easier it becomes with every individual. I have a kind of like a structure, but I never know what's about to happen in a session. I never know it. I don't prepare for it. I don't sit down a couple of hours or the night before thinking, oh, I got these clients tomorrow. I wonder what's going to happen, what kind of techniques I'm going to use. I don't mind. I don't care. Until the very moment where the client steps into my office and I can see them in their eyes saying, hi. I want to see the human. I want to see the individual. I want to see the resources. So only in that way, through conversation, I can make sure that my work will be complete and they will get what they're looking for. It's not going to be in my papers. It's not going to be in any manual I got or any kind of training I've got from the past. Not at all. It can only be throughout the conversation with that other individual. So what I'm going to show you guys today is actually a way of communication and conversation that will maybe turn everything upside down a little bit, depending on what kind of training you got already. Because imagine this, what if you could actually go and resolve and find resources in even the deepest trauma in an individual without ever mentioning anything about it? Wouldn't that be interesting? What if you could actually get people to go into the perfect trance to deal with this issue without them even knowing that they actually went there? What if this could be done in a playful way where they actually feel excited, but there's so many levels of psychology and consciousness, inner, outer, sub, present, whatever, any kind of consciousness. And all gets pleased, and everything that happened in the past will become a resource. And I know there might be some skeptics in between some of you thinking, well, something could be so bad there's no resource. Wrong. There's a resource in everything. I'm not specifically going to find it for them. I'm not going to analyze my client. I'm not going to conclude anything on their behalf. They're not going to do it either because our conscious minds is going to leave the room before we do the session. It can only happen through flow, trance, hypnosis, subconscious levels of whatever kind of thinking you're doing. And it has to be conversation. I know it's old school. I was taught, okay, tell the client either what not to do and what to do. And if there's something bad in their past, see if you can block it out and lock it down and bury it somewhere. Because we can create amnesia around that little issue. That's so wrong, really. I don't approve of that. I did once because I thought, oh, this is the only way. But again, I'm curious, so I don't take no for an answer either. Well, I don't even take yes for an answer. I want to figure out why, right? So what I'm going to show you today is something that happened in my weird mind a couple of years ago where I sat with a client who had real big issue with a trauma and they thought it was impossible to deal with. And I just played around. Hypnosis, even the most serious kind of therapy has to be playful. You have to be empathic and playful, and you have to kind of like love what you do, otherwise you wouldn't help anything, and you wouldn't guide the client in any way. So this is kind of like the thing I want to show you guys today, if you're interested. Yeah? Have you guys ever worked with anyone who felt like they had such a severe trauma that they thought it's impossible to solve? Yeah? Hands up, yeah, awesome. This is interactive, by the way. Isn't it cool? Yeah? And this is yes, this is no. It's awesome. And remember, if you don't get it, if my dialect or my pronunciation of words is not really good, remember, I'm a really nice guy anyway. All right? So, question is, I actually just want to jump straight into it and show you guys how I do it. And you guys are welcome to take notes meanwhile and see if you can kind of figure out what I'm doing. And depending on the length of the demo that I want to do, we have time for some, questions and answers right after. That would be awesome. And if you want to know more afterwards, I got a table in the exhibitor room, so you can come ask questions if you want to. So, I want everybody to think a little bit, if it's not too hard though, right? Think a little bit and go back into your past and think about something that you might have been working on already, but you never really got to solve it. If you have anything from your past, and remember, it could be anything. And it could be something you think, this is really severe. I'm not really sure I want to show this to people, but remember, you're not going to show anything. We're not going to share details. We're not going to do anything, but I'll promise you with a guarantee something will happen. So think about it. So who would want an experience that's going to be kind of like game-changing for this day? Yeah, well, you are a fast one. I just want you to say the topic. That's it.
Say the topic of my...
Of what you want to get rid of.
Sadness.
Sadness.
Yeah.
Cool. Do you know it's going to be today that change is going to happen? Do you feel that?
Yes.
Well, that's approval. Cool. By the way, this is nonverbal. You know that sigh that just happened?
Yes.
You know what that means?
No.
You're ready.
Okay. I am ready.
Cool. And Jennifer.
Yes.
Okay. So, you know already, we're not even going to discuss what the problem is.
Okay, good.
Okay?
Yeah.
Because it could be anything really. Mm-hmm. But I want you to keep an open mind because you might be focused on one issue right now, mm-hmm. but everybody knows that if you kind of like think about it, there might be several issues that we want to address,
okay.
and we couldn't possibly cover all of it, could we?
Okay. No.
But we're going to do that anyway.
Okay. Okay.
So, first of all, imagine, just for a brief moment, imagine if you were a little girl right now, and you knew everything that was supposed to happen, about to happen in your life, from then all the way up to now. Mm-hmm. From a scale from 1 to 10, where 10 is bring it, and 1 is, I'm not sure I want to do that.
Again?
Be honest, yeah.
Oh.
If you knew everything that was waiting for you in life, of the sadness and everything else, how thrilled would you be about life if you were a little girl? Be honest.
No, I wouldn't be thrilled.
Okay, so on a scale from 1 to 10, where 1 is no thank you, and 10 is bring it,
No, thank you.
okay, so we're down to 1?
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, interesting, because now we got some, this is a referral point right now. So honestly, if you think back on everything that happened, it's a no thank you, correct?
No, thank you.
What happens when you think about it throughout your body?
I'm very hot and sweaty right now.
All right, good.
Yeah.
Well, it's not good, but it's good. Something is happening. Your body's working. Awesome. So, in spite of everything that has happened already in your life, I want you to think about a recent moment, could be like yesterday or a couple of days ago, where you had a moment by yourself where you didn't think about anything that happened throughout your life, a neutral moment where you actually just felt like, oh, present for a moment. When is that moment? First thing that pops up.
That moment is last night when I was laying in bed.
Okay. How did you feel lying in bed right there, in that neutral moment?
Hopeful.
Hopeful. Mm-hmm. Okay, so hopeful. And how did you feel throughout the body?
Fluid.
Fluid?
Just,
Okay.
Yeah.
So hopeful and fluid. Mm-hmm. So in spite of everything that happened so far in your life,
Yes.
you had a moment yesterday where you felt hopeful
Yes.
and fluid.
Yes.
That's pretty awesome, isn't it?
It is.
All right. So what I want to do also is we just leave that for a moment, okay? And I just want to make sure once again, if we go all the way back to you as a little girl, before everything, before the shit hits the fan,
Okay.
before life started happening really, and you got aware of, oh, I'm facing some issues. As far as back as possible, maybe somewhere between 3 and 5 or 8, or even before that, What is the first moment that pops up? How old were you?
That I was hopeful.
Before anything started happening in your life that could be, considered an issue or trouble or trauma.
Infant.
Infant? That's good enough. How many months?
Oh gosh, I can't do this. Probably
Yes, you can.
a month.
All right, cool. So let's go a little bit further back than that. Maybe just born, and that's it?
Yes.
And that's the moment. And I know, usually in this kind of technique, I go back and talk to a little girl, but at that moment, you couldn't possibly do that.
Right.
So imagine the conscious mind,
Okay.
the soul or the spirit within that baby, that's really you,
Yeah.
is able to chat with me.
Okay.
Okay? So, first of all, back to yesterday. Last night, hopeful, fluid. Right? Just close your eyes for a brief moment before we start doing anything. Just have some fun with it. Imagine right now having like a backpack, a really cool one, could contain anything in the world. Imagine you can actually put being hopeful and fluid into that one. You still got it inside, but you can actually put it inside and bring it with you. Maybe even hand some of it out to somebody else, right? So right now imagine going all the way back to you as an infant and watch on a distance. And you're not able to chat with her, but she's right there. But you can feel her and you can sense her. You can even communicate her by thought. That's the cool part about this. So I want you to say something to her. In spite of everything that's waiting for you in life, there will be a moment as an adult, like last night, where you felt hopeful and fluid. In spite of everything that's going to happen in life. Is she curious? Does she trust you? There might be skepticism. A little bit.
She trusts me.
She trusts you. I want you to tell her once again, and in spite of everything that's going to happen throughout life, everything she knows, you can still be hopeful and fluid. It's a skill you got. And in a moment, I'll count from 3 to 1. On the count of 1, I want you to step inside of her, become her, and talk like her, like the spirit or the soul behind it. I want you to bring all the skills with you. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Hi. Hopeful and fluid. Where do you feel that now? Right there? You got it. It's yours. So in spite of everything that's waiting for you in life, you can feel that at any moment. That's a power, that's a skill. So thinking about everything that is waiting for you, and you know all of it. Where just, a couple of moments ago, it was like a no thank you. And it was a 1 on a scale from 1 to 10. Just let me know, are there any changes to that number right now?
Yes.
Already? Awesome. What kind of change is that?
It's about a 3.
It's about a 3 already? That's powerful. Just feel that grow a little bit as you're thinking of it right now. And let's play with it. In a moment, when I say go, I want you to kind of like just go through life, all the situations, everything that can be considered negative, as a trauma, as a bad situation, something that makes you sad or cry or feel, not good enough, everything that's not a positive resource yet. I want you just to jump from one situation to the next, to the third, to the fourth, and do it faster and faster and faster. There's no stopping, actually. It's impossible. But if there's something right in front of you, you can tackle it. If it was ice hockey, just like that. Put your shoulder into it, destroy it, and pick up all the resources. Imagine everything as being black and white, and every time you put your foot down in a new situation, colors come out of the ground, flowers, trees, and you can pick up new resources. And just accelerate it. Ready?
Yes.
Go. Just start it up. Allow your mind, your conscious, your unconscious, to pick out everything you think you know, everything you think you forgot, everything you do know, and everything you did forget. All of it on a conscious, unconscious level. And when you get all the way up to last night feeling fluid and hopeful, let me know by nodding your head. Just accelerate it even more. Even more. Good job. All the way. Perfect. Good. So I notice a change. So besides feeling fluid and hopeful, what else is there right now?
I'm happy.
You're happy? Wow. Where do you feel that? How do you know?
Because I can't stop laughing. I'm just,
Interesting.
yeah,
So fluid, hopeful, happy. How does that feel?
great.
Great, so it feels great.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I'm just kind of in awe.
An awe?
Yeah, just amazed at
Amazed. Wow.
all these beautiful colors that I stepped in the,
So you can feel amazed in spite of everything that happened so far.
yeah.
Wow. You know, bring out the good old backpack again
Okay.
and apply all the new stuff to it. Feeling amazed, happy, all of it. Just put it down there. Fill it up. When you know it's all there, let me know. Good. Let's take another trip back in time. Just move all the way back to you as an infant. Same place as before. But this time, don't just speak and tell the infant. Now I want you to show pictures of how it feels to be happy, fluid, hopeful, amazed. I want you to show the infant what you just showed me and told me minutes ago. Show images of yourself feeling that in spite of everything that happened throughout the whole life of yours, you felt happy, amazed, fluid, hopeful. And all the things you didn't mention, what happened on the inside of your mind, all that too. How is she reacting this time?
She is not afraid.
She's not afraid anymore. So when you're not afraid, what are you then?
Content.
Content. Does she trust you even more now? Cool. In a moment, when I count from 3 to 1, on the count of 1, I want you to become her, be her, think like her, talk like her on a spirit level. 3, 2, 1. That's good. Hi. Wow. Didn't you just discover something brand new about yourself? Where's that happiness right now? Just feel it. Where is it right now? Right there. What about feeling amazed? You know you got it. Where is it? Just allow it. Exactly. It's everywhere, isn't it? So even though something's going to happen, you know that. Something's going to happen throughout life. But you can choose to be happy, be amazed, and look at things differently. Because you got a set of skills nobody else has. But you got a unique set of skills right now. Even being hopeful, fluid throughout life. So it becomes even easier to pick up new resources and ideas and skills for you. So on a scale from 1 to 10, where 10 is bring it, and 1 is no thank you, you went from a 1 to a 3 just before. But now with that hope, with that fluidness, with that happiness, that feeling amazed, be honest. What do you think about life that's waiting for you right now?
I'm still a little scared.
No problem. We're not done yet. So be honest. What's the number?
6.
6? Wow. That's a big jump. Maybe you're scared of how far you can take this, or how powerful and amazed you can be, or how hopeful you could actually end up being. Who's not afraid of that? But being afraid at the same time is also feeling excited, isn't it? So how do you know which one is which? So are you feeling excited or afraid? Okay. So what are we going to do right now? Instead of jumping from one place to the other, right? I want you to imagine like one of the biggest trains there is. One of those that goes through Alaska, up the mountains, down the mountains. Nothing is stopping it. I want you to sit right there in front of it. Watch the panoramic view. And you know, all the issues, all the trouble, all the situations going to arrive right there in front of the train, but you're going to smash it. It's just going to go straight through it. And all the resources that's left, you're going to pick them up automatically. You don't even have to think about it. It's just doing it by itself. And I'm going to get all the way up until last night. Let me know. You ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Just allow it to happen. Visualize, sense, feel, know, do whatever you do best. And just go straight through it. Wow, that was fast. Did you notice that change too?
Yes.
Wow. So, besides everything else that you mentioned so far, what else is there?
What else am I feeling?
Yeah. What else are you feeling?
Relieved.
Besides happy, fluid, hopeful, amazed.
Relieved.
Relieved. Yeah.
A little bit more confident.
More confident.
And I feel like I have power again.
You do have power again. Awesome. Just feel that and accept that right now. Know that's right there in your body. You know exactly where it's located because it's you. That's right. So, good old backpack. Let's do it again. Put all the stuff down there. Done that?
Yes.
Go all the way back once again.
Okay.
When you see the child, let me know.
I see it.
Good. This time, don't just tell the child. Don't just show the child. Pick the child up, hold it, and let it feel the emotions, sensations, and everything you felt just before and as you're feeling right now of that confidence, that power, that feeling relieved, hopeful, fluid, amazed, happy.
Safe.
Safe.
Yeah.
Let her feel it right now. Just feel it. Yeah, that's right. It's right there, isn't it? Finally. Allow her to take everything because it's part of her. She had it first, you know. You just recently rediscovered it. Now she knows. On the count of 1, step inside of her, become her, and have a chat with me. Ready?
Yes.
3, 2, 1. Hi.
Hi.
Relieved,
Yeah.
confident, strong,
Yes.
safe, happy, hopeful, amazed,
Yeah.
fluid. You do know that, right?
Yeah.
Imagine that. This early in life, you got all that. Because you're that powerful. And you know now, no matter what's going to happen to you, you still have it. So you can choose now to use it and utilize it throughout the whole life and become even stronger when you get older. So knowing that right now, looking at the life that's waiting for you, went from a 1 to a 3 to a 6. How do you feel right now?
I feel like that I'm strong and I can get through.
You can get through.
I've done it.
You've done it already, but now you've got so many more resources.
Right.
So how close are you to the bring it right now?
I'm getting close.
You're getting close.
Yeah.
Is that a 9?
Yeah, for sure.
You know what's cool about that? It's always flexible. So whenever you get to the 10, it grows. It never goes back, but it grows and go forward. So I wonder what it takes right now before we do the last trip takes for you to accept it could be a 10 because you're ready. What does it take, do you think, for you to accept? Are you afraid of being that strong?
Yeah.
But if you're afraid of it, you're already that strong.
Okay.
Is that not making you feel excited?
Yeah.
So how do you know you're afraid but not excited? Feel it. You don't.
Yeah,
You don't. You did a moment ago, but you don't anymore. Isn't that exciting?
yeah.
And you actually smile about it. So I wonder how it feels to feel excited and being that happy about it.
It feels good.
It feels good, doesn't it?
Feels good.
Still on a 9?
10.
10.
Yeah.
Being honest right now?
No.
So what's the honest number?
I'm still at a 9.
That's good enough for me because you know there's room for improvement.
Yeah.
But 9 is pretty damn good compared to a 1, isn't it?
Yeah.
Awesome. But you know, we're going to change that anyway.
Okay.
It's going to become even better. So right now, instead of jumping from one place to another, instead of actually taking the train, I want you to imagine a rocket.
Okay.
Yeah, and you got 2 options. You don't even have to say out loud what you're going to do. But imagine a rocket that can blast through everything on a chronological timeline, as we just did before. Or you can actually choose to go all the way outside and see everything from the outside from a distance, knowing how great you really are, and just land there last night, feeling all that. So if it's the one or the other, either way works better. So you decide on an unconscious level. Would you be ready to go?
Yes.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Deep breath. Go. Just go. Just imagine it. Either way, it works. Imagine all the little leftovers, bits and pieces that might be left. It's going to be totally blasted off in the afterburner of the rocket. And you can still pick up new resources, new skills, new ideas, new powers. Yeah, you know that. And just move all the way through, easy as nothing. And when you're there last night, let me know. Good. But we're not going to stop there, though. I want you to move into tomorrow. I want you to go into next week. Even next month. Next year. Yeah. I want you to step outside of your rocket. And I want to give you a challenge, but you're that strong, so you can handle it. I want you to think about everything that before the session, the one you were before the session, all the challenges, when you thought about that back then, I know maybe just one of them could make you feel like, oh, I'm not going to do that. Or make you feel, afraid or whatever. It was then. But right now, everything you could think of before the session is stacked upon each other right in front of you right now. All of it. All situations. Everything you thought was impossible. And you know what? In a moment when I say go, you just take one step through it. And you can just wipe off the dust from your shoulders. And you could just feel even stronger doing it, knowing you just picked up new and better resources. Ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1, go. Just take the step. Perfect. How does that feel?
Really good.
Really good.
Yeah.
Did you expect you being able to do that? If I told you like 20 minutes ago you could do this, would you trust me?
I wouldn't believe you.
Okay. And can we agree on the fact that maybe just a few of those things would actually make you stop before the session, but now you just took a step through it?
Yeah.
Do you know how strong you are?
Yes.
How confident you are? How fluid you can be?
Yep.
Are you amazed?
I am amazed.
Are you happy?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. How do you feel right now?
I feel really, really good and powerful. I feel really powerful.
Remember, there was a time before this session when you thought about certain things from your past, certain things happened.
Yeah.
Think about it now and see what happens. That's how strong you are. Yeah, well, hey, what happened?
It's okay.
It's okay, isn't it?
Yeah, because I knocked him over. And yeah.
And that's how strong you are.
Yeah. Yeah, that's amazing.
Are you excited?
Yes. Yeah.
So one word pops up in a moment. Yeah, that's right. Another word pops up in a moment. That's kind of like a gift to you
Okay.
from your unconscious. A new word with a new skill that you haven't thought you could become before this session. Just allow that word to pop up. Something that is a new skill, new resource that makes you feel even more powerful. What is that word? Sorry?
Teacher.
Teacher. Explain that to me. I know it means something specific to you, but I want to know what it is.
Everything that happened to me in life, I can help others now. And I know that I only went through it because I was strong enough to handle it, and I'm strong enough to be here. So.
But listen, I'm a little bit confused now because 20 minutes ago you said everything in your past was like, I don't like it. It's a 1. I don't see the resources. But now you're teaching me. Awesome.
I was terrified before, but now I'm just this huge, strong, beautiful lady.
Of course you are. You know what's even cooler?
What?
Every day from now on, every time you think about this, every time you take a new step, a new breath, blink with your eye, when you look yourself into the mirror,
Yeah.
see your own reflection, that giggly little thing will start happening in your stomach, and you know how strong you are, how excited you can be about life, how fluid you are, how happy you are, how amazed you will be, because that's how powerful and strong you really are, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
So in a moment, I want you to count yourself up.
Okay.
On the last count, your body will show you something. It's called a smile. It comes all the way down from your stomach. It's making agreements with your muscles in your face right now. And I really want you to try and hold it back. Really do your best. Really do your best to hold it back, but it's your body appreciating what you just did with it. Really try and hold it back.
Okay.
How does that feel?
Good.
Look at all the amazed faces in the room right now. Okay. So think about it.
Okay.
Somewhat 25 minutes ago,
Yeah.
you told me you had a problem
Yeah.
in the past about something called sadness.
Yeah.
What happened?
It's okay.
It is okay.
Yeah. It's okay.
It made you who you are, didn't it?
Yeah. It did.
So it's a resource.
It is.
And we didn't even talk about the issue, did we? No. And all the others.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about that either. But you do feel it, right?
I feel it.
It's right there. You know what's even cooler? Well, as if there could be any more. Somewhat during this day, you will have a moment where you get some kind of enlightenment, when something new pops up, a new mindset. And you will know what it's all about when it happens, but it will happen. Because now you're starting to take a new step forward into your life. And who's in control now? Finally.
Right.
That's cool, isn't it?
It is.
So who's the most important person in your life? Exactly. Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right.
Everybody.
Doing good on time. Wasn't that fun?
Amazing.
That's cool. You know, what's so cool about this is I can be playful all the way through, okay? There's nothing in this session, that nothing could happen that makes me doubt that I will get a result from it. I did a one-day pre-conference workshop yesterday where I actually taught this, how to do this, all the little secret snippets of it. And I told about a psychiatrist that actually volunteered a year ago at the IHF conference in San Pedro. And, well, I got some big old cojones when it comes to challenges. And every time I accept a challenge, my conscious mind goes, you didn't just do that, please, again. And I asked somebody in the audience with the most severe trauma or issue, and imagine the psychiatrist did this. And she said, so many people tried to help me. Nobody succeeded. It's a big problem. I'm not going to share anything with you. And I went like, cool, that's a deal. No problem. And I could see the faces of everybody in the room. They went like, oh, you're going to fail this one. And we did the first round, no result. We did the second round, nothing happened. And I was just sitting there being playful. And I looked at her and she was like, ha, you're not going to nail this one. She thought that. Looked at everybody in the room. I got some good friends there. They went like, take it easy, Martin. Well, this is going to end bad. And I did the last round and she got the experience she was looking for. Everything that was an issue to her got resolved in one split second, and she didn't know what hit her. But finally, she accepted it within her inner mind, and she was like this afterward, like, what did you do? Well, I didn't do anything, I just guided you. You did it, so I wonder what happened inside of you that made you finally accept who you really are and letting go of what you thought was an issue and then accepting all the resources. What happened? I don't know. I went, isn't that awesome, right? Isn't it amazing? Because your mind can do that, even without you knowing, because conscious mind is plain stupid anyway. So let's just go with the gut feeling and that good old I feel my body thing. It's not a cliche, it's the truth, right? So it's all about that. So that's kind of like what I wanted to show you guys today, how playful you could be. And I had people with, from US military with the most severe trauma or PTSD and whatever, same cycle, 45 minutes later, no issue. And that's a guarantee. Sometimes it might be 55 minutes, but hey, still just one session on it, right? So, awesome, by the way. Thank you for volunteering, because that took some courage to be part of that process, but awesome. And that's why I usually ask people, so do you know it's actually today the change is going to happen? And you had no doubt, you just nodded your head, and it looked like your conscious mind went, why did I just nod my head? Because again, to me it's all about not communicating on a conscious level. I connect with my unconscious, with my body, with everything, with my heart, with my gut brain, and that's it. Because Martin from Denmark is stupid as everyone else. But when I'm right there in my flow, communicating on all different levels than just speech, I feel it, I get it. There's no doubt, there's no hesitation, there's only confidence, and I'll know I will get through it with my client. Either way, this way or the other, I don't care, we will get there. Did you like it?
Yes.
We've got time for a few questions. Let me know. Yeah?
Is there any kind of issues that you would not use this technique for?
No. Well, the limitation though is this has to do with everything that happened so far in your past, or even past lives really. So it has to be something to do with trauma. If we talk about behavior or some physical issues, the collapse might not be the best thing, but we have different tools for that. But this is everything that happened throughout life that your mind couldn't cope with yet. So everything within that category, go for it. Yeah?
So do you keep doing the path until the person gets to at least?
Here's the secret. I always do the 3 rounds, okay? Telling, and then jumping, and then showing, and then the train, and then feel it, and then the rocket, and then future pacing. That's the least I do. But you know how much is the maximum I ever have done with anyone? 4 rows. And I do the rocket twice. If they choose to go outside, then the next time go straight through it. So either way, that will actually solve it. I had never had anyone go beyond 4 rounds of it. So I'm pretty satisfied with that. Yeah? Anyone? Yep.
So if you're utilizing, a lot of times when I work with people with PTSD and severe trauma, they don't actually have memory.
No. Well,
how do you resolve that?
pretty easy. Because first of all, we could ask Jennifer, because I didn't do an induction on her, did I? But she was there, right? Because I pushed her right into it by asking about past memories anyway, things she knew was okay and neutral. And I asked her to describe how it felt, and in that very moment, she couldn't possibly do that unless she was in trance, so unconscious mind went, yay, right? So this would be something I do in the middle of a session. Before that, I've done so many other things. So conscious mind is usually the one not remembering. Conscious mind is not going to be part of my session from the middle of my induction and for the rest of the session. So it is not an issue, okay? There might be some black holes of memory because the mind has an ability to kind of lock things up, and that's perfectly okay. But through the unconscious or superconscious or even soul and spirit, you'll get to the details. And again, remember, we're not looking at the negative stuff. We're looking for that brief moment. And anyone would say, she couldn't possibly remember how it was to be an infant, 1 month old, but she knew how it felt. She could, you trusted it, right, Jennifer? Yes. Good. And that's good enough for me because she trusted that. I don't need any more information. So that makes it so much easier, doesn't it? All right? So I know we had a lot of good questions yesterday also about all the what ifs, but that's conscious mind asking questions. So, and that's not going to be part of the session. So it makes it so much easier. Yeah? Anyone else? Did that answer all your questions just like that? Right? Yep.
Do you have books or scripts or anything that you could share?
I never use scripts, only conversation. I have 8 or 10 books, but I'm still writing on them. Because every time I get a new idea, I want it to be part of the book, and somebody told me, then do a second edition. But right now, I think it's edition 8 or 9, but I never really get to publish it, but I will do soon, because you know it's a good idea to kind of put it down there and put it out there and then change all of it once again, right? Yeah. But another thing though, if you have any questions you want to ask, but not in front of the room, I'll be at my table, maybe not during lunch, but right after, so you guys can get a couple of minutes before you need to go to classes again. But I have several videos of me doing this, if you're interested. Come and write your name on my mailing list. I'll make sure you get it. You can actually also get my pre-conference workshop from yesterday for a small amount. You will get the full video with everything, all the training and stuff. And I got some cool trainings coming up anyway. So let's have a chat about that inside that room, because we're not supposed to do that here. And I'm really bad at it anyway. But if you feel like this was interesting, come have a chat with me. All right? Thank you, everyone.